The room is warm, too warm. The air is heavy with the scent of stale air and the soft, rhythmic hum of a life lived in a state of suspended animation. You lie there. The sheets are soft against your skin. The pillow holds your head like a hand that doesn't want you to leave. This is the sanctuary you built. This is the fortress of your convenience. But look closer at the walls. Look at the way the light filters through the blinds, casting shadows that look like bars. You feel safe here. You feel protected from the wind, the rain, and the judging eyes of a world that demands more than you are currently willing to give. But safety is a liar. Safety is a slow-acting poison that numbs the nerves before it stops the heart. Listen to the silence. It isn't peaceful. It is the sound of a clock ticking toward an end you aren't prepared for. Every minute you spend in the warmth is a minute your edge grows dull. The iron in your blood is turning to rust. The fire that used to burn in your gut has been reduced to a flickering candle, starved of oxygen. You tell yourself you are resting. You tell yourself you are waiting for the right moment. The right moment is a myth invented by the weak to justify their cowardice. The Vikings of old didn't wait for the seas to be calm. They didn't wait for the sun to shine. They embraced the storm because the storm was the only way to the horizon. They knew that the shore was a place for children and the elderly. The man who stays on the shore never finds a new world. He only finds a slow, agonizing decay. You are currently decaying in a bed of silk. You are dying in a house full of mirrors that no longer show you a man you recognize. The ghost of who you were meant to be is standing in the corner of the room, watching you sleep. He is disgusted. He is silent. He is the weight in your chest that you try to ignore with distractions. The screen in your hand, the endless scrolling, the cheap dopamine. These are the chains of the modern slave. They don't use iron shackles anymore. They use comfort. They don't whip your back. They soothe your ego. Wake up, not your eyes. Wake up your soul. The cold air outside the door is not your enemy. The resistance you feel when you think about movement is not a warning. It is a compass. The direction you fear is the direction you must go. The warmth is killing you. It is time to step into the frost. There is a war happening inside your ribcage. It is a silent, grinding conflict between the man you are and the man you must become. Every morning, the first battle is fought. It's the battle of the voice. The voice is smooth. It sounds like your own, but it is the voice of the coward. It tells you that you've done enough. It tells you that you deserve a break. It tells you that the world is too harsh and that you should stay under the covers just a little longer. This voice is the gravity of mediocrity. It wants to pull you down into the earth until you are part of the dirt. To fight it, you must become the blacksmith of your own spirit. Think of a blade. A blade is not born sharp. It is born as a raw, ugly chunk of iron. To become something of value, something that can cut through the darkness, it must be thrown into the fire. The fire doesn't care about the metal's feelings. It doesn't care if the metal is hurting. The fire is there to burn away the impurities. It is there to break the molecular bonds of weakness. If the metal could speak, it would scream. It would beg for the coolness of the shade. But the blacksmith knows if he pulls the metal out too soon, it will remain soft. It will bend. It will fail when the shield wall meets the pressure of the enemy. You are that metal. Your life is the forge. Every time you choose the difficult path, you are leaning into the flame. Every time you push your body when it screams for rest, you are being hammered into shape. The pain you feel is the sound of the hammer hitting the anvil. It is the rhythm of creation. We have forgotten that we were made for friction. Modern life is designed to remove all resistance. We have climate control, instant food, and digital validation. We have removed the grit from the gears of our existence, and because of that, we have become fragile. We shatter at the first sign of a real storm. We crumble when someone speaks a truth we don't like. We have become a generation of unhardened iron. But you feel the pull of the old ways. You feel the ancestral memory of the longship. You understand that a man without a struggle is a man without a story. The internal battle is not about being perfect. It is about being relentless. It is about the willingness to be uncomfortable for as long as it takes to find your edge. When you go to the gym and your muscles burn, that is the price of entry. When you sit in silence and confront your failures, that is the price of wisdom. The comfort zone is a velvet-lined coffin. It feels good, but there is no movement inside of it. There is no growth in the shade of a great tree. You have to find the sunlight on the ridge. You must learn to love the sting of the cold water. You must learn to find peace in the middle of the chaos. The modern man thinks peace is the absence of conflict. The warrior knows that peace is the mastery of conflict. You are not fighting your boss or your wife or the economy. You are fighting the version of yourself that wants to quit. You are fighting the part of your brain that is wired for survival, but has forgotten how to live. Survival is for the prey. Living is for the predator. Not the predator that harms the innocent, but the predator that hunts his own potential. The man who stalks his goals with the same ferocity that a wolf stalks a deer. He doesn't care if his paws are cold. He doesn't care if his belly is empty. He only knows the hunt. You have lost the hunt. You have become a well-fed dog by the fire. Look at your hands. Are they calloused? Look at your mind. Is it sharp? Or have you let the soft life turn you into a caricature of a man? The ancestors are watching. They are leaning over the edge of the unseen world. They look at the abundance you have, and they look at the weakness you've allowed to grow in its place. They didn't survive the winters and the wars so that you could spend your life chasing shadows on a screen. They gave you their blood so that you could build a legacy. The forge is waiting. The fire is hot. Will you stay in the cooling embers, or will you step back into the heat? The internal war is won in the moments when nobody is watching. It's the extra mile when your lungs are on fire. It's the hard conversation you've been avoiding. It's the discipline to say no to the things that make you weak. Every time you choose discipline over desire, you are forging a link in your armor. Every time you choose the easy way, you are thinning the steel. Choose the fire. Choose the hammer. Become the weapon you were meant to be. The blood that flows through your veins is an ancient river. It has traveled through centuries of conquest, survival, and unbearable hardship. You carry the DNA of men who stood on the prows of ships and stared into the abyss of the North Atlantic. Men who didn't have the luxury of finding themselves. They knew who they were because the world told them every single day. They were the protectors. They were the providers. They were the walls that kept the darkness at bay. Honor was not a word to them. It was a currency. It was more valuable than gold or silver. If a man lost his honor, he was a dead man walking. Today, we have traded honor for convenience. We have traded purpose for pleasure. We live in a world where men are told that their strength is a problem. We are told that our drive to conquer is outdated. But the spirit of the warrior cannot be suppressed by a cubicle or a HR manual. It can only be redirected. If you do not find a way to express that drive, it will turn inward. It will become depression. It will become anxiety. It will become the quiet desperation that defines the modern male experience. The ancestral code is simple. You are responsible for your own soul. You are the king of your own domain, even if that domain is currently a small apartment and a mountain of debt. A king does not complain about the weather. He prepares the kingdom for the storm. A warrior does not wait for orders. He seeks the front line. We have been lied to. We have been told that the goal of life is happiness. Happiness is a fleeting vapor. It comes and goes with the wind. The goal of life is meaning, and meaning is found through responsibility. The more weight you can carry on your shoulders, the more valuable you are to your tribe. The modern Viking doesn't carry an axe. He carries the weight of his family. He carries the weight of his integrity. He carries the weight of his word. When a man of honor says he will do something, it is as good as done. The world can bank on his resolve. Is your word worth anything? Or do you break promises to yourself every single day? I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it later. Each of these lies is a betrayal of your ancestors. They didn't have a tomorrow. They had the present moment, and they had the grave. They understood that death is always sitting at the table. This realization didn't make them morbid. It made them alive. It gave every action a sense of gravity. When you realize that your time is a finite resource, you stop spending it on trivialities. You stop caring about the opinions of people who haven't bled for their own convictions. You start to seek the company of other warriors. The shield wall only works if the man to your left and the man to your right are as disciplined as you are. Your tribe right now might be a group of people who enable your weaknesses. They are the ones who tell you it's okay to stay in the comfort zone. They are the ones who drink away the weekends to forget the emptiness of the week. Leave them. A lone wolf on the mountain is more honorable than a dog in a pack of cowards. The path to transformation is a lonely one at first. It requires you to walk away from the warmth of the communal fire and head into the dark forest. You have to face your own demons without an audience. You have to prove to yourself that you are capable of holding the line when there is no one there to cheer for you. Discipline is the highest form of self-love. It is the act of giving yourself what you truly need rather than what you temporarily want. You want the donut, you need the fasted run. You want the sleep, you need the early start. The ancestral code is about the long game. It is about building a life that can withstand the test of time. We are building cathedrals of character, not shacks of comfort. Think about the legacy of the men who came before you. They didn't leave behind their bank accounts. They left behind their names. A name that meant something. A name that brought comfort to their friends and terror to their enemies. What does your name mean? Does it mean reliability? Does it mean strength? Or does it mean potential wasted? The mirror doesn't lie, but the world will. The world will tell you that you are fine just the way you are. That is the most dangerous lie of all. You are not fine. You are a shadow of what you could be. And that realization should not make you sad. It should make you dangerous. It should give you the fuel to burn down your old life and start anew. The warrior's spirit is not about violence. It is about the refusal to be conquered. It is the refusal to let the circumstances of your life dictate the quality of your character. If you are in a pit, you dig. If you are at a wall, you climb. If you are in the dark, you become the light. This is the code. It is written in your bones. You just have to be quiet enough to hear it. Stop listening to the noise of the world. Listen to the beat of your own heart. It is a war drum. It is calling you to the field. The storm has passed, or perhaps you have simply become the storm. There is a stillness that comes after you have committed to the path of resistance. It is the stillness of a predator who no longer needs to growl to prove his power. The comfort zone is now a distant memory. You look back at it, and you don't see a sanctuary. You see a prison you escaped from. You realize now that the safety you craved was actually a slow death. The pain you feared was actually the price of admission to a life worth living. Identity is not something you are born with. It is something you forge. You are not your name. You are not your job. You are the sum of the challenges you have overcome. When you die, and you will die, the things you owned will be distributed or thrown away. The comfort you sought will be forgotten the moment your heart stops. The only thing that remains is the impact of your spirit on the world, the strength you passed on to your children, the standard you set for your peers, the memory of a man who refused to break. Legacy is not about being famous. It is about being foundational. It is about being the rock upon which others can build their lives. A modern leader is not someone with a title. A leader is someone who lives a life that others find worthy of emulation. By stepping out of your comfort zone, you give others permission to do the same. You become a lighthouse in a world that is drowning in the fog of easy living. This is the highest honor a man can achieve. To be a man of purpose, to be a man of weight. The journey does not end. There is no final destination where you can finally sit down and be comfortable again. If you find yourself getting comfortable, you have found a new trap. You must constantly seek the next ridge, the next challenge, the next level of your own evolution. The modern Viking mindset is a commitment to eternal growth. It is the understanding that the war is never truly won. It is only managed day by day, breath by breath. But now you have your weapons. You have your discipline. You have your honor. You have your purpose. You are no longer afraid of the cold. You are the cold. You are no longer afraid of the fire. You are the fire. Go out into the world, not as a victim of circumstances, but as a creator of destiny. The ground you walk on should feel the weight of your intent. The people you speak to should feel the clarity of your soul. You have been reborn in the crucible of your own making. Leave the warmth behind. Leave the excuses in the dirt. Your life is waiting for you in the places you are afraid to go. Walk toward the roar. This is your time. This is your honor. This is your legacy. The comfort zone is dead. Long live the warrior.